that means Ark of the Covenant. You could just search it in Google, Hebrew Strong's Concordance, and it means Ark of Noah, Ark of Covenant, and Ten Commandments. Okay, the Ark of the Covenant was basically a sacred tablet of the Ten Commandments. All right. The Lord said to Noah, "Go into the ark, you and your whole family, because I have found you righteous in this generation." And Noah, his sons, and his wives. All right, you guys. So right here, I'm just gonna cut the clip very short, rid of, because I have two dreams that I need to throw in here. So basically, I was talking about how God commanded Noah what animals to take, what people to take with him, what parts of the earth that he needed for him to place in the ark. And the reason why he did it is because God was going to flood the world, and then he was going to recreate it. And so God is getting ready to do something new like that in this world for real. Okay, y'all. So one of the dreams that I had, we were at a party. I was with some like very high level top like people, but it was like we was at somebody's house. It was like, casual, like a pool, like little gathering or whatever. And we were all laughing and just having a conversation. And then out of nowhere, this huge airplane just comes, and it looked like it was going to land. So I think that it was like about to crash into the place that we were in. Like these people like literally started like opening fire on us, and it was out of the blue. So we started running when we realized how fast the airplane was heading towards us, and we went back in the building before it actually landed. And while we were going in, and at that moment, while we were like pretty much all scared, running back into the home, these people were like breaking down the brick of that home, and we seen them like zip lining down those little things like we see in the movies and stuff, y'all. It was really, really it was crazy. And then they came in, barged in, and they demanded us to give them some type of encrypted secret paperwork or disc, but we would not give it to them, and that was making them angry. And we were just like fighting and not giving it up. And then they was like, yeah, they was unaliving people, y'all. It was crazy. So then the next dream I had, I was talking to this dude who was a good friend of mine, obviously, and he knew exactly a lot of things that was going on politically. So he was basically like just giving me the odds and the ends of, what was going on. And he was like pretty much like he knew everything before it was going on or while it was going on. And so as we were talking randomly, this huge airplane just comes out of nowhere. It lands, and then out of nowhere, this man just starts yelling, blowing this big old, the little microphone thing that you talk into. I'm gonna put a little clip up here in a picture so you know what I'm talking about. And he started talking into it. And he made this whole platoon just get in front lean position, and he kept making them get up and down, up and down. And they had these big old bags on their backs, the green army bags that they tote everything in them. And then it's more so the older ones. And then I seen them carrying horns. And I remember seeing this girl who everything was just like too heavy for her. She could barely get back up. So it kind of like creeped me out, y'all. But I just want to tell y'all that if you are spending your money on unnecessary stuff, please stop, because I really feel like we're finna go through some type of war, and something is about to hit us unexpectedly. There's going to be a good shift. There's going to be a shift of something where we're going to have to bounce back from. So please, I am warning y'all. Like, I don't know everything. You might have to take some of these interpretations back to God, like these dreams, and ask for clarification, interpretation from him. But I do feel like we need to gear up and get ready. We need to prepare as much as we possibly can, because something is coming to this world, and y'all, I'm thinking that meant that was war. So yeah, individually had work to do. God was telling Noah to do this. People thought he was crazy when God was telling him. So as I was saying, God had to do a separation between some of these marriages that has a covenant with God, because God needed to reveal himself to let's try that again. God had to reveal himself to both spouses in a way that he has never revealed himself. He was changing not only the man's heart, but the woman's as well. because they both individually had work to do. Not only that, they both felt unqualified. Okay, Moses, when he had
with words, who am I to go before the Pharaoh?
I will be with you.
If I go to the Israelites and say that God has sent me, they won't believe me. They'll ask, what is his name?
I am who I am.
They won't listen. Why should they? They'll seek signs.
That rod, cast it to the ground.
Burning bush moment. He didn't feel. He didn't understand why God chose him. He was like, no, I can't do that. Absolutely not. I used to serve them. When God was telling him he was going to part the Red Sea and, go tell Pharaoh that he need to free my people so that they can, I think worship him in the wilderness is I'm just putting it in my own, I'm paraphrasing. Okay. And so, he was like, no, I stutter. Like, I'm like, what? No. Okay. So for some of y'all, your kingdom spouse, the men don't feel, like, what? God chose me for this? I'm like, are you sure? That's the type of thing that's going on. And then, so, like I said, the rod is significant. Y'all, I'm just gonna butcher words. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm always straight up. Okay. So it talks about Aaron's rod, right? So God gave him instructions about how he was gonna give him signs, miracles, and wonders when he went back to Pharaoh. That Moses had fled alive one of the Egyptians. He hadn't seen his brother in so long. So God told him that Aaron was going to actually meet him on his way back, and that Aaron would be the one that would speak for him. So on his way back, his brother actually showed up, and he was like so surprised. And Aaron told him that God actually so happy to see his brother too. But he showed God. I mean, he told him that God showed up to him in a dream, told him to go meet his brother. All right. So anyway, and then he showed him how to do the thing where he put his hand on his arm or in his pocket, and that it came out with all the
Place your
seeds
hand,
on it.
and then withdraw it. This will be the sign that you speak with the voice of the Lord their God.
Then he had that miracle sign and wonder where he throw down the rod and it turned into a serpent, right? All right. And that goes back.
Really? Well, that doesn't fit with my plan, Hebrew. Ask him to wait, will you?
Are you so sure that I'm a fool and a fake that you'd risk his wrath?
Risk?
Great Lord!
Now hear me, for God fills my tongue. The Lord God of Israel bids you, let his people go.
No one. No one!
And these are his words. It says, let my people go, so they may celebrate the festival to me in the wilderness.
I shall have you both killed for daring to come before me, but your blood is unworthy of me. If Hebrew you must be, so be it. Go, Moses, take your brother, live with the slaves, live there, then come back and speak to me of your God. Do it.
Sire.
We can't have slaves dreaming of journeys to the wilderness. Egypt needs their sweat, increase their workload. Have them gather their own...
To the word where I was saying how God, your enemies have been mocking you, and God has allowed it. But it was all a setup the entire time. All right, so we got a part 3, and I'm going to get into why it was a setup the entire time, because the enemy didn't want me to get this video out. And I'm going to add these Hebrew concordance pictures up in here. I'm going to take my time to edit this video. So, yeah, come check in with your girl. Clock in. Clock the tea with Jesus. Okay, period.